Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are addressing excuses because my last video was littered with a lot of excuses as to why I have not been posting, why I have not been consistent on the channel, yada yada yada, and today we're addressing excuses. By the way, my microphone made it to a stand. Excuses help us to dampen the sting of uncomfortable, embarrassing feeling. We have excuses. Like I said, I had excuses as to why I was not doing this, as to why I was not doing this. Excuses is more like giving yourself a reason why you should tolerate things that you're not supposed to be tolerating, things that you're supposed to be uncomfortable with, right? I had an excuse as to why I will not do this, why I will not do that. It's just that video was laced with a lot of excuses. And if you have not seen the video, kindly go and see it. It's a video before this one. So I had a lot of excuses as to why I have not been posting, a lot of excuses as to why I have not been consistent on the channel, right? I call them excuses now because I know that behind these excuses are other reasons, and we are going to address them today. So the main time when we give excuses is when we are talking to others. We don't give these excuses to ourselves, right? Sometimes we tell ourselves the reason I cannot do this because of this, I cannot. But when we verbalize it is when we're talking to others. Ironically, giving these excuses does not hurt these people. It is us that it will hurt on the long run, even in the short run, say, if there's any word like that. So ironically, the excuses does not hurt these people. It is us that it's coming to hurt because we're the one that are not actually being proactive with our time. We're the ones that are missing out on things that we're supposed to be doing. We're the ones that are not taking responsibilities for our life. We're the ones that are not taking part in our growth. We're the ones that are not doing what we're supposed to do, right? So excuses hide the bigger problem we're trying to avoid. One of the excuses I mentioned in that video is that I am an overthinker. But the bigger problem is not even being an overthinker. The bigger problem that is hiding behind that excuse is that I'm not a social media person. I don't like putting myself out there. See, if you go to my IG page, it is as boring as can be. I don't even think I have any pictures there. If you go to my Facebook page, I have not posted anything there since I think I last posted there in 2019, and I don't even have any social media presence anywhere. On Twitter, I don't have my picture, but I try to, make a post or two because you will not see my face, but you just see somebody behind the keypad. So that's like the bigger problem, because on YouTube I will have to show my face. Even if I decide to do a voiceover, which might happen sometimes, but I will have to show my face when it comes to YouTube. So the whole media shyness was the bigger problem that was hiding behind overthinking the content. You don't even want to know a lot of the excuses I've given, but let's just assume that the one you heard should be a clue to a lot of excuses, right? I think I would admonish that you look beyond your excuses. See, try to explore your excuses, unmask the problem behind your biggest excuses, unmask the problem behind all of your excuses, and you'll be able to address the issues. Having excuses is a passive way of refusing to take responsibilities for your life, because you are the only one that is responsible for your dreams. Nobody is going to hold your hands and take you through life, giving you all the opportunities that you're supposed to have, telling you how to go from point A to point B. Yes, people do it, but it's not as if the person is going to tell you how to live your day-to-day life. I grew up in a generation and at a time when everybody believed that their uncle is responsible for their breakthrough. If you talk to anybody, at least in the environment I grew up in that time, pretty much very entitled children, a lot of them believe that their uncle is wicked. This one will say, my uncle is wicked, that's my wicked uncle, my uncle did not help us, my uncle did not do this, my uncle did you even help that your uncle? Your uncle is going through his own challenges, but I digress. Actually, I grew up in a time and a place as at that time when a lot of people had reasons why their uncles were wicked, why their uncle is supposed to help them, and all of that. They are pretty much entitled. They believe that their uncle is the reason why they are not succeeding. Their uncle is the reason for this. Uncles have suffered though, but then looking at it now, I think those people were actually shooting themselves in the leg, because at a point in your life, you're the one, you have to take responsibility for yourself. You have to take responsibility for your growth. You have to participate in your own stories. You have to be a part of your own stories. Basically, I want to buttress this point by talking about babies. When babies are born, the first 6 months, they basically depend on you for a lot of things, from moving from point A to point B. At the very beginning, they lie down on their backs. Like, if you keep them there for 24 hours, they will be there, they will not be able to turn. Gradually they learn how to turn, and gradually they learn to sit down, gradually they learn to crawl, and by that time that they start crawling, they are very happy because they can scatter your house. They can go from point A to point B. They can pick up that toy that they love that seemed far from them, right? And gradually they start walking. When babies take their first walk, I don't know if you've experienced it before, but it is a joy to behold. They're usually extremely happy. They raise their hand for stability, but also they raise their hand, in my own opinion, as a sign of victory, that finally I have done this thing that adults are doing, right? They are so happy, they are laughing, smiling, jaw to jaw, and all of that. That's like them taking part in their own stories. No, their parent is not going to come and say, I was the one that helped the child walk. No matter how you love your child, you cannot help the child walk. So the child takes a part in their own stories, right? That's like them taking ownership of their own stories. So as grown-ups or as individuals, what are your excuses? Why are you not doing what you're supposed to do? Why are you not moving from point A to point B? Why are you not raising your hand in victory? Is it because you want someone else to help do it for you? Wake up. Nobody is going to do it for you. When we make excuses, we don't make it for other people, we make the excuses for ourselves. But what we forget is that these other people that we are not making excuses for are not the ones that we miss out on the process of growth. They are not the ones that will reap the benefit if we succeed. They are not the ones that will have testimony of growth, testimony of being able to do it by the time we have done it, right? Sharing excuses is something that we do to ease the guilt feeling of not taking action. And I've come to discover that the best excuses and the most dangerous excuses are actually the ones that are valid. So one of the reasons why I said so is this: if I say I don't want to attend this event because I don't have shoes, you actually get to that place and you find somebody that is there that does not have legs. So my excuse was valid, but actually somebody went against all odds to be there. So your best excuses are actually your most dangerous excuses, and most of the time they are very, very valid. So one takeaway I want you to have from this video is that excuses are a form of self-sabotage. No matter how excused you think your excuses are, I'll say unmask the problem behind your excuses, because that problem might actually be sabotaging your future, might actually be sabotaging your dream, sabotaging what you're supposed to do, your process of growth, your everything, just your absolute best. That excuse is sabotaging it. Thank you so much for coming to this video. Kindly subscribe to the channel if you're not, and I'll see you again in my next one. Bye guys.